Now, live from Artie's Cut Rate Liquor Store, shooting range, candle shop, bowling alley, massage parlor, it's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Happy day.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, welcome.
Welcome. Hey, it's show number 42 of the Dave and Doc Podcast. I'm Dave.
Great Jackie Robinson.
And you're Doc. I'll help you out.
Thanks. I am Doc. I am.
You are the great Jackie Robinson.
I am this. Yes. We're dedicated.
You just wait 7 shows from now.
Motivated.
Show 49.
I know.
It's going to be fun. I'm already prepping.
We'll have to have something.
I'm already prepping.
I'm excited for you.
Maybe I can have Joe Montana on the show.
That would be pretty awesome.
Hey, it is the Dave and Doc Podcast. All this stuff is right on our website, daveanddoc.com. That's Dave, A-N-D, Doc, D-O-C.com. I do appreciate a bit of explosion on YouTube this past week. It's pretty cool.
I'm telling you, it's the mannerisms.
People, I think it is, and so a lot of people are watching. We're over. Numbers are never in front of me when I need them.
It's okay.
But a lot of hours watched.
That's good.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank
almost
you.
1,000 total views.
Thank you, folks.
Yeah, so
We appreciate that.
But hundreds of hours watched.
That's good.
Of our podcast.
That's awesome.
So thank you, and I'm sorry. But we would appreciate also if you would subscribe. If you would subscribe, subscribe, send it to your grandma as a Christmas card.
Everybody.
Or of course you can do the traditional stuff, Apple Podcasts and all that other. Right. It's all over the place.
That's right.
But it is show number 42, and we had some fun before we got on the air, and we'll have some more fun toward the end of the
I'm telling
show.
you.
And we'll talk about toward the end of the show. We've got some guests coming on probably in a couple weeks, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yep. Good stuff.
We'll plug their show as well. And of course we got the Super Bowl to talk about. I had a great experience at Target. That's very sarcastic if you didn't pick that up. I had a terrible experience at the Target.
It's never good.
No, it's not. It's never good. And we'll get into that as well. First of all, how you doing, man?
Man.
You've been busy.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bit busy, crazy. Went and saw Journey last night.
Yeah.
With Toto, special guest Toto. Toto. Yeah.
Did they hold the line?
Oh yeah.
Love isn't always on time.
They also blessed the rains down in Africa.
Did they?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to take a long time for me to meet Rosanna.
Rosanna.
Still probably my favorite Toto song. I like Hold the Line as well.
When they did, at the end, they said, "Do you want to hear the song?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the song?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." And of course, it's Africa. So there you go.
So funny. I wonder how much money they got out of that when Weezer did that cover.
Oh, a lot.
Because a lot of people have done a cover of that song.
A lot. I'm sure.
I mean, but Weezer's just went nuts.
Yeah.
And the young kids were like, "Wait, somebody wrote that song before?"
Yes.
It's like, I will smack you.
Yes, they did.
Yes. Toto.
Looking a little old. Everybody's looking a little old. We can talk more about that.
We'll get into some music stuff here in a little bit. So yeah, but
so I was gonna do some '80s dad jokes or maybe some like '80s band stuff.
Right.
I was not very impressed by what I was reading, or they're just really not.
I was gonna say some of them were pretty funny,
or they're just really not appropriate. So we're kind of just gonna do some generic ones again. So we're kind of getting away from the theme. So again, some of these are okay. And I hope I hadn't told them before. If I have, you can call me out on it. But we're gonna get into those.
We'll dock his pay.
That's right. Take it down. So without further ado, what did one plate whisper to the other plate?
What?
Because these are food. We'll go with the food thing.
Okay.
Dinner is on me. Try the seafood diet. You see food, then you eat it.
Yeah, that's
lots of people like that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. What state is known for its small drinks?
What state is? I feel like I could figure this out. I don't know.
Minnesota.
Yeah, that's in my mind. I said Minneapolis, and I'm like, that's not a state.
If two vegetarians get in an argument, is it called a beef?
Send those complaint letters.
That's right. What did the seal with one fin say to the shark?
What?
If the seal is broken, do not consume. That could have gone a lot of different ways.
You could have.
But that was pretty good. Okay, that's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the effort, but like I said, I tried. We were up late. Don't stop believing, though. Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.
Hold on to that feeling.
Hold on to that feeling. There we go. That's enough of that.
Or just play the motorboat. I mean,
just either way. Yeah.
That's it.
Our equipment's doing funny stuff.
That's okay. Here. Hopefully it's recording.
It is, but I think it may have stopped for a second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, it'll be fine.
That's okay.
What's the worst that could happen?
Radio edit.
Radio edit. It did. I think it actually stopped for like a second, but that's okay. I mean,
it'll just sound like a pause.
It will. It just sound like a pause. It's not a big deal.
Okay, dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause. That's exactly right.
So anyway.
So
we're getting fired up. We're getting the feeling. What you got? Let's roll.
Well, so we want to talk Super Bowl, of course. And the Eagles probably should have went into halftime with a lead that. I mean, with
lots of things,
with a huge lead,
didn't go.
The fumble just really. It's like with the Chiefs. It's funny with the Chiefs, like because they have it in them, but and a lot of times they get down in games, and if you don't give them that opportunity,
yeah, they can't.
And one of the strategies that the Eagles had that I didn't realize till after the game, and somebody was talking about it, was that the Eagles were. Not snapping the ball purposely until like 2 seconds left on the play clock every time because they looked at it and it's like that will keep a possession away from Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Which makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. So
a lot of sense.
That's great though until you snap the ball with 2 seconds left on the play clock and it goes behind you.
Right. And then you've scoop and score.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. So that was unfortunate. And I kind of felt like that was a big part of the game that I thought that was kind of like it for a second. I mean, like you watch that and you're like, now you've opened
and I know that they had practiced that and that was their plan, but that I don't know that was their rhythm for all the other games of the season.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I always think it's hard when you go outside of that, even with 2 weeks to prepare, to try to get used to doing that. And so the counts and then there goes the ball.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I was a little disappointed. What got me fired up more is like after the game.
Yeah.
Not really two things. Number one, Patrick Mahomes' brother's like just doing Instagram stuff. And people are like roasting him or TikTok. Sorry, I guess it was TikTok. And I'm like, who cares?
Right.
I mean, if he's fine, but I mean, I don't. And then I'm like, how? I don't. Anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany, is like, this team deserves an apology. I'm like, shut up.
She needs to chickadee check herself.
I was just, before you wreck yourself. I was like, apologies?
What apology?
They had the best record in the regular season.
Yeah.
And were Super Bowl contenders the whole year.
Right.
Why do you think they owe an apology? Just because some people thought that the Bengals should have beaten them and thought that the Eagles were going to win.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're not a great team. That doesn't mean people don't. And I don't know. A lot of people bet on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Mattress Mac bet on the Chiefs. He got another huge payout.
I know.
I mean, there's a lot of people
ridiculous.
put big money on the Chiefs. She's like, they owe no apology. No, they don't. Shut up.
They don't know that.
She gets on my nerves. She gets on my nerves. It's like you got nothing to.
I don't know.
I don't understand. And
she appears to be, and again, this is just surface level. I don't know anything about her. All I know is she's very attractive. That's all I know. That's it. And she says some pretty stupid stuff. I do know that. Those are the two facts that I know. But I get the impression. I get the impression that she's probably not had to work overly hard in her life for anything. That's
I have no idea.
Impression that I get. I get the impression
I have
that
no
she
idea.
kind of was Hottie McHotterson and has always went out with
Patrick Mahomes.
someone of stature of some sort, and then married Patrick Mahomes.
I have no idea.
And now she's in this false reality of, well, I get to say what I want to say. No.
Yeah, I mean, like, just, talking all kinds of trash with, it's like, you didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
Yeah. So
He didn't do anything.
I wasn't happy the Chiefs won.
No.
But I didn't like the Eagles either. This was one of those Super Bowls where I'm like, Christian McCaffrey, they talked to McCaffrey like on Wednesday of last week, and it was so funny.
That.
They said, who do you want to win? He goes, I like for both teams to
I hope
lose.
they both lose. Yeah,
And I'm like,
saw that.
That's my guy.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's what you want. You want that ultimate competitor to just be aggravated and just be like, not even watch this thing because we're not in it and we're supposed to be in it, and I wanted to be in it and it just didn't happen. You got to have that edge.
This was the first year that I've talked to numerous people who told me they were not going to watch the Super Bowl.
And yet it was the third highest rated Super Bowl of all time.
Blows me away.
I was like, really?
Blows me away.
That was kind of interesting. I was surprised that the ratings were that high.
I was too.
Because, I also knew several people that they were like, I don't care about this game.
Yeah. It was not, I didn't feel like it would be the most popular of games, but there are a lot of Chiefs fans out there, though.
I guess that's probably what drove it, I guess. I think
so. And of course, the city of Philadelphia, tried to burn itself down no matter that was going to happen no matter what.
That's correct. That was win or lose. We're burning the city.
Burning the city.
Burning the city.
Nothing says we're satisfied with our season like burning the city.
And it was a good game. It was a good back and forth. Like I said, that turnover was a big deal. Mahomes coming back from the injury, whatever they had to do to his ankle.
Yeah.
Get him ramped back up. And then he goes for the big scramble there.
Yep.
And just finding ways to win.
Yeah, it's true.
And I actually think that other than the fumble, I actually think Hurts played a better game than Patrick Mahomes. I know Patrick Mahomes was MVP, but
with 184 yards passing.
Yeah.
Which I don't think has ever happened before.
182, whatever it was. Yeah. Not a lot.
No.
Couple TD passes, no turnovers though, right?
No turnovers.
And he, of course he scrambled and and it did come down to a field goal.
Yeah, it did. It sure did.
But unfortunately, it didn't go the way I thought it would. But, and then, of course, the holding penalty.
Which aided the field goal and kept the drive alive.
Which was totally a holding
It was
penalty.
I mean,
he knocked him. You can clearly see the hand. He even admitted that he did it.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this a little bit. What got on my nerves about that, same thing with Brittany Mahomes making her silly business was, Juju Smith-Schuster dogging, if the cornerback's name escapes me, but dogging him, sending him like a trolling Valentine thing. Yeah. I'll hold you forever, or whatever it was.
It's like you're 3 steps away from being out of the league.
Right, and that's what Micah Parsons like. You've done about out of this league. He says, just stop talking all this trash. Because he was, it's like, you lucky you have Mahomes that got you back. Anyway, it is what it is.
I'm not a Chiefs fan at all for obvious reasons.
Sure, I get you.
I get you.
I like Andy Reid though. I do like Andy Reid.
I do like Andy Reid.
But
I don't know. I watched that game, and while I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't know. I really have no team to root for here. Like I actually really wanted like a 10-10 game and like a final drive from somebody. Yeah. Not what happened. Yeah. 78 points scored or whatever. Or 73 points
73, yeah. 38-35.
Yeah, so high scoring game, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was a very good game. The two best teams, I guess, made it in there. I don't know. I know that we talk about the 49ers. You just wonder. I don't know.
That one hurts because I watched that game and like I think about that Niners defense and I think of how their offense was clicking at the end of the year, and I'm like, we needed a quarterback to be healthy for like 3 weeks. That's it. That's all we needed.
Yeah.
And maybe the Eagles
a quarterback.
A quarterback.
That was the real
a quarterback. Yeah. Just someone who plays that position. Now, Eagles fans, of course, say, well, no.
Now, I just wonder, what I think back to is what if Trey Lance doesn't hurt himself?
Right.
Are they clicking like they were with Purdy? Do you think? I don't know. And that's the other thing. And then you're like, I don't think with Jimmy. I think if Jimmy'd stayed healthy, I don't think it would have been quite the same.
I don't either.
I really don't. I think Brock Purdy's way better than what people were anticipating. And I think he played within the system. And obviously getting CMC made a huge difference.
I can tell you this. I can tell you that Trey Lance getting hurt ultimately helped Brock Purdy. And you're going to say, well, of course it did. Eventually he ended up starting. That's not what I mean.
Preparation and everything.
What happened there was when Trey Lance went out, Shanahan basically had to redo the offense because now he's got a quarterback that's not mobile.
Gotcha.
And so him redoing the offense and then Purdy being the second guy, getting a lot more reps with an offense that's more tailored
with
to
what's going to suit his needs.
When Purdy got in there, he didn't have he may have not have known all the plays, but he didn't have to change the playbook.
Gotcha.
And so with Trey Lance, it was a much different look this year.
I see.
The rumor was that in like preseason and like training camp and like some of the early practices were that a lot of reporters were coming to watch the Niners practice with Trey Lance and everything just going and clicking. And they said, this team's going to break an NFL scoring record.
Oh, wow.
That's what they were saying. Now, again, that we didn't see that play out on the field, but yeah. So I don't know.
But anyway.
But regardless of that, with a third stringer, they got all the way to the NFC Championship game.
Right.
And then,
like I said, I really do believe he's better than It's just a
he's played more football than Trey Lance. I can tell you that.
Right. Just a shame.
I might or might not still be bitter about that. Just
I can understand.
It's a smidgen. It's a smidgen.
The Kelsey Bowl.
It was the Kelsey Bowl.
Travis Kelsey wins.
And I'm not a fan of Travis Kelsey. And I've had to watch him on TV enough. Now he's going to host Saturday Night Live. And I'm a huge Saturday Night Live fan.
Yeah.
So I'm not happy about that either.
So you're going to have to watch the episode.
I'll have to, yeah. I've never missed one.
You've never missed one.
Never missed an episode.
That'll be interesting to see because I guess he's kind of a ham. So
he's something.
Yeah.
He's something.
A pressed ham. I don't know. Whap. No, but
where's the ham located on the pig?
Well, yeah. Well.
Hey-oh.
I don't think that's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that great.
No, I don't think so.
They'll be holding him up. I
still say Peyton Manning was the biggest surprise to me on SNL. See, his monologue was great. He came out and he said, "Hey, I want to thank my family. They're here. They were all there." He goes, "My brother Cooper, who's probably the best athlete of all of us, who just got hurt and didn't get played." He said, "My brother Eli, he's a great quarterback. My dad, legendary quarterback, great guy." He said, "We've all been pretty disappointed in Mom, though." And she apparently had not heard this ahead of time. Her head's down, just shaking her head, going like you can read her lips going, "Peyton, really?"
That's awesome.
Nobody knew Manning could be funny.
Yeah,
right?
Well, and that helped him honestly further his career.
Oh, it did
after SNL because people are like, look at how good he is.
Yeah.
Of course, he was a speech communications guy.
Yeah.
So it's in there.
He and I are just alike, except for the height and the athletic ability, and the money.
And the money. I was gonna say, don't forget the money.
Yeah,
and the rings.
And the rings.
Though you do have.
I do have some championships. And you do have some ownership in an NFL team, which thus far Peyton Manning has not partaken of, which is still very interesting to me. He can Papa John his way all over the place and all that stuff.
That's it.
And
but
Allstate
you're a real
owner.
owner. But you're a real owner.
I'm an owner of an NFL franchise.
I think it was nationwide.
Was it nationwide?
I don't know. I think
him and that country guy that I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Brad Paisley.
Was that who it was?
Oh,
that's right. Yeah. I don't know anything about country.
Nationwide, but Farm Bureau is really where it's at, just so you know.
That's it?
The $100 still goes for a long, long way, stretching that out. That's it.
Farm Bureau. What didn't they have the dude? What's his name? Charlie?
The farmer.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
No.
What happened to Charlie?
I don't know.
Did he get arrested for meth?
I don't think it was that. I'm going to bet it was the natural course of things where Charlie felt that Charlie was more important than Farm Bureau and Charlie wanted to get paid.
Maybe.
And I bet they said, yeah, not for what you're asking, Charlie.
I did get a little sick of this commercial.
Because you can be replaced.
You want to know what a horrible human being I am? Here it is. I'll just tell you how horrible of a human being I am. It was the commercial where he's in the diner with his kid.
Yes.
And the waitress is
having the hard time. Yeah.
Yeah, waitress,
Yes,
her husband's having...
somebody needs glasses. And
somebody needs glasses and her husband's having his rectum removed. Something, I don't know what it was. But he needed some money, right? And so, it was... whatever. I mean, that sounds terrible. We were talking about plastic surgery off air a little while ago. So he's having his rectum removed. And he's going to replace it with a duck's bill. But the and so he leaves like $100.
Yes,
$100 bill for a bill. Like
Dad, you didn't get your change. Don't worry, I'll get it back.
And he's like, I don't understand how. And he goes, well, one day you will. I'm like, I'm done with this. I am done with these commercials. I am done with an insurance company trying to shove their good naturedness down my throat. You are in it to make money. Go straight somewhere. I got so upset about that commercial.
And we just lost an official listener.
Listen, I love
our one and only sponsor.
I love him.
Well, that's the end.
I love him. Listen, hey, I appreciate it, man. But listen, insurance companies in general, this is not something that's unknown.
No, I know. No, I'm kind of teasing.
We all paid the premiums, and they bet on a high percentage of us never using the services.
That's correct. It's a
business.
It's still a business.
It's still a business. But the whole thing about insurance companies like personally caring about you and stuff from maybe the agents, maybe because they know some of us, right? But the company itself,
I think I would say the corporation.
Yeah,
I think that's the key because I mean I will say in particular our friend. There have been some instances, where folks need some help, and he was definitely there.
Sure.
Like a good neighbor.
Yeah.
Bo Blanken and Farm Bureau are there.
Bo's the man.
Take that.
Bo knows.
That's it.
Bo knows everything.
Bo knows your insurance needs for show. One thing I know.
And our agent has been great with me. Like
I think it's the corporate thing. It's just like the pharmacies and the pharmaceutical companies. I mean, they're just large corporate giants.
Yeah.
And their bottom line is what matters.
That's true. I mean, it's just
because there's a lot of good people that work at CVS. There are.
Sorry, sorry, I got a little sick there at my stomach when you said CVS. It's weird.
Walgreens, Walmart, Food City, Victory Pharmacy.
You want me to tell you another huge
Reams,
corporation that I'm not happy with? Is Target.
Oh. See, we got a segue. Look at that. How about that? Yes. So tell us about the Target.
I'm a professional broadcaster.
That's right.
Actually, that one just happened naturally. That's pretty good how that happened. So Landon, our middle son, has a Nintendo Switch. I've tried to steal this from him many times. When he stops playing it for like a couple weeks, I'm like, "Oh, Dad's gonna steal it because there's a Legend of Zelda game that I like on there." And then I also got the Nintendo Retro Pack, right? So it's
nice.
like all Super Mario and all the old stuff.
Yes.
I'm playing Metroid.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And I really like the Switch. It's actually really cool how you can like plug it up to your TV and then you take it and it becomes a controller, all this stuff. Anyway, he's had it for several years, right? Says, "Hey, Dad, it's not charging." I'm like, okay.
No.
So, Dad goes into tech mode.
That's right. But you know a little bit.
I do. I know a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I was able to get it to turn on every once in a while. So I'm like, okay. It is the battery, it is the charging port, or it is the chip that controls the charge, right? The battery is easy to buy and replace. Well, It's not easy, but
it can be done.
But it can be done, and I did so. I replaced the battery, and we come to find out it was the actual chip on the board. Now I can get the equipment to do it and replace the chip because the chip's like $3, but I got to like heat it up, pull it off the board, solder a new chip on, and I'm like, this thing costs $300. Like, no, I'm not spending 40 hours doing this. Okay. Wow. I don't know. I already had it apart. It probably wouldn't have taken whatever. I don't have all the equipment.
Well, I was going to say, so you'd had to buy the equipment, the intricacies of doing that.
Yeah. And then, I'm not good with the soldering iron. I have scars to prove it.
Oh.
That's like,
I mean, it is a hot weapon.
It is. It's hot. It's hot. Bring a bucket and a mop. Whap. And, That's gonna be the downfall, folks. If you're listening right now, bored, just hang on to the end.
Yeah, just keep going. Dad jokes might have been bad, but whap, we in it.
So I told Lindsay, I'm like, hey, it's whatever. I'm picking up a Switch or whatever.
Right, we'll go.
As a matter of fact, you
Go
called
to the
me,
Target.
or we were talking when
Yes,
I
that
was
was-
at,
yes, that
it
was last week.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you're like, hey, what time are you going to be home so we can record? Because we generally record on Saturdays. And so I went to the Target, and I walked back to a partially empty Target. I might say, like, not
Really?
not goods wise, but there wasn't a lot of people there. The parking lot was full there, but there must be prostitution going on or something, because I don't see a lot of people going in and out of business,
Hurry to the back.
right? Just get right back to the back.
Wow.
It's like a meat counter. They're just giving you,
Right.
WAP 1, WAP 2,
Today's
WAP 3,
special.
WAP.
Spicy tuna roll. With wasabi.
Hey-oh! With wasabi.
Or cottage cheese.
So I get to
tomatoes.
I get to the Target,
And some
and I take a right there, and I go all the way back to the electronics section. No employees there anywhere around the electronics section, right? But
That seems like a bad idea.
Seems like it. So I'm like, do they have a Nintendo Switch or whatever? Finally found they had 2 left, right? But they were in a locked container.
Okay. Okay, that's probably why nobody's around.
And of course, because I get that these are expensive items, and I'm like, okay,
right.
Like, well, I would like to purchase a Switch, and I do not want to pick a lock, nor do I know how to.
Right. And I'm not interested in getting in trouble.
I left my bump key at home.
Right.
So, pop, 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 pop.
And I refuse to use my superpowers to just break the lock.
I said I just can't do that in public anymore.
Yeah, that's right. They keep asking for favors.
Every once in a while, I just say, "Do you know I own a part of the Green Bay Packers?"
right.
I'm just saying, I don't even have to shop here. They'll just send me one.
And I'm a professional broadcaster.
And I'm a professional broadcaster. Apparently, they didn't know who I was. So I start walking around the Target
To try to buy the Switch.
to try to buy the Switch.
This is going well.
I am trying to make an effort.
And
to
this is a
give
good
them money.
item. This is. I mean, they're making some money on.
Of course they are.
This is a
Target
good-
probably paid $70 for.
That's what I'm saying. This is a good. This is a good item. No. This is good. Right.
So I'm walking
Right.
down the aisles, and I get to like cleaning supplies, or I don't know, eye bleach or something, whatever's there, and here's a gentleman working there.
Seems to be a customer associate,
Yeah, seems to be someone. He is wearing a
customer
Target,
service
a
associate.
Target vest, and or whatever they wear. Is it just a shirt? I don't know. Hell, I knew he was a Target.
It doesn't matter. He was clearly an employee.
Yes, I'm
of the Target.
gonna call him Earl.
Oh,
because I don't know what his name
good.
is.
This is good.
So I said,
Was he a Duke?
I said,
Duke Earl.
I said, hey there, friend.
Earl.
I said, I mean, typical me. I'm like, hey, excuse me, sorry to bother you, even though you work here. But I would like to buy electronics, and they're locked up in a cabinet. And he goes, oh yeah, so and so. Let's say Tony. I don't know.
Biff.
Tony.
Can we call him Biff?
Tony should help. Let's call him Biff.
Biff and Earl.
Biff's fine.
Biff,
so Earl
Biff,
says,
Biff
well,
and
Biff
Earl.
Biff should have been, Biff's back there or whatever. And I'm like, well, there isn't anyone. I've looked. I did that.
Biff is not there.
I didn't leave the electronics section searching for someone working in the electronics section because,
I would have approached them and said, hey, I would like to buy one of these Nintendo Switches.
And I'm not stupid. So I wouldn't do that. So I said, well, Biff, there is no Biff. Biff, you've been lied to. There is no Biff. He says, oh, okay. And so he reaches down to his side.
Yeah, walkie-talkie.
Well, twofold. He's got a ring of keys. And I'm like, oh, he's just going to walk over there and say, okay. I'm like, okay, cool. No, walkie-talkie. This is Bearball 32 Jet Delta 46 Thunderbolt on 2-on-2 brake. Whatever he said. And somebody said,
Blue 80.
And he said, hey, somebody will be back there in just a second. I said, awesome. Okay.
Said thanks.
So I walk back there and I stand there.
Thank you.
My hands folded. I'm just
waiting on Biff.
Waiting on Biff. Biff doesn't show.
Uh-oh.
I give it 5 minutes and nobody's there. And I'm like, I could walk this store in 2.
That's correct.
Come
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Now, maybe Biff's taking a big crap. Maybe that's happening. Maybe he's taking the Biff crap. He had some beef. And
Biff had beef.
Biff had beef, little spicy jerky,
Little spicy, delicious
stole
treat.
it right off the shelf, probably there at the Target, and now he's
he's
giving back to society.
Yep. Watch out.
And so I waited a few more minutes. I was like, okay, I'm going to walk back to the same aisle
And
that
see
I was
if-
in
see if said dude's there.
and see if old Earl's there, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm saying, hey, Earl,
Because at least you could talk to Earl.
you know, Biff's dead. He's not coming back.
we don't know where Biff's at.
So Earl was gone.
Biff
so
is stiff.
I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna.
This is going well.
I'm gonna continue to walk.
Then they're
around.
missing a sale.
Yeah, I mean, at this
of
point,
a large item.
I've been there for about 30 minutes at this point, and it should have been a 5-minute trip, right?
Right.
Have cash in hand, ready to go. So I'm walking, and I go to just walking around until I find somebody.
So then you couldn't find Earl either.
No, I couldn't find Earl. Earl's gone.
Earl is.
Earl's gone.
What are they doing?
I don't know. I think it's a
Was
conspiracy.
it a rave at the back? Did you see any glow sticks?
There was a disco ball being.
That's it, right?
So I go looking, and then in like the section that has like the bikes and
Yeah.
you know all that stuff, scooters and all that stuff.
Yes.
Young lady was there, very friendly young lady. I said, "Hey, can I get some help?"
What was her name?
Let's call her Sally.
Sally. Okay.
Yeah.
Long, tall Sally.
I was going to say she's very long and tall. That's
it.
Actually, she was very short, but
but Sally.
too short, Sally. So I say, "Hey, too short, Sally."
Have you seen Earl? Have you seen Biff?
I said, hey, I was just talking to an associate of yours who was going to get Biff and get whatever. And she said, was he not back there? Well, Sally, no, he wasn't.
And that'd be why I'm
That is
talking to
why
you.
I'm talking to you 19
because
aisles over.
everybody disappeared.
Yeah, everybody disappeared. So she says, okay, well, let me go get somebody for it. I will physically go get somebody for me. And I'm sitting there thinking, are there just one set of keys in the whole place? Give me the keys and I'll bring them back to you. How about that? I'm super trustworthy. There's cameras everywhere. I won't steal anything, I promise. You know? It's like, come on. So she leaves, right? So Sally Sue leaves. And she says, I'll get somebody and have them. And she goes, and so basically she was like, hey, go back over there. I'll have somebody come over there.
She's again trying to help and actually
again,
taking it one step further.
Yeah. And take it.
Gonna
take it
go
one step
physically find somebody.
further. I go back. I stand there at Target and I'm waiting
In the electronics section.
in the electronics section.
Where there are two
Yes.
Nintendo Switches.
And I'm standing right beside them. So when they come, there's no like, did somebody need help? No. It's the dude. It's the goofy looking dude
I'm right here.
with the Switch.
I got money. I'm ready to buy.
I stand there for
We don't have to negotiate.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. Nobody.
You're kidding.
Nobody. So then I
They
decide.
were all on break.
I decide to go up front
Oh, Dave.
to
See,
the customer service.
I would have been done
yeah.
at this point. I'd been like, you know what? Lannon's not getting the Nintendo Switch today because so you have more patience than me. I would have left.
Yeah.
I would have left after Sally. Been like, that's it. I can't.
So I go to the customer service thing where you like do returns and stuff.
Yep.
And I said, hey, I would love to purchase a Nintendo Switch. And she says, oh, you can get those in electronics. I said, funny enough, I found them.
been there.
The problem is I can't get the cabinet open. She says, oh, one of our associates will open it for you. I said, okay, that's great. But we have now been through several people and no one's been able to come help me yet. And I told her the whole story. I'm like, Earl said he would make a call. Nobody showed up.
Biff did not come.
And
Sally-
too short Sally couldn't do it either.
Was going to physically bring somebody.
She was, and I'm like, so now I said, I've been in the store
Biff,
for 40
was,
minutes.
Biff was roofied.
Yeah, Biff's been roofied. And I think Sally had something to do with it.
Yep.
Sally and Earl
Conspiracy.
was trying to get
That's
rid
it.
of Biff.
That's it.
And she said, I am so sorry. And so she gets on a phone, right? And says, yeah, okay. All right, sounds good. And she says, they'll be right there. And I'm like,
I'm walking back again.
I'm walking back again.
I already had my 10,000 steps.
So I go back there and I stand for another 10 minutes.
Oh, Dave.
Nothing. So at this point, I said, okay, we're done. And
Okay.
the first thought I had was to go back to customer service and say, find that said person and just say, hey, listen, nobody wants to sell me this thing. Like, why couldn't she just go back?
So you just missed out on a $200 markup.
But then I thought, it's Target, and they don't care what I think, and I don't care what they think. So I leave the Target
That's terrible.
without a Nintendo Switch.
That's terrible.
And luckily, Lindsay found one at Walmart, and somebody let her in.
Hey, how about that?
So he did get his Switch. And
Walmart.
the story ends well.
Wow.
But it started me thinking about like just department stores in general. And I went back to a time in my life, a long time ago, when K-Mart used to be a thing.
That was the time warp.
In Claypool Hill, Virginia,
Oh, my goodness.
in the Claypool Hill Mall,
Oh.
Kmart
In the mall.
in the mall.
There was a Kmart in the mall.
Kmart in the mall. It's a pretty small mall.
Small mall.
Not Paul Malls, but small mall.
Or small ball.
They didn't
Small mall.
they didn't sell any Paul Malls in the small mall. Maybe they did. Maybe K-Mart sold Paul Malls.
Do you think they did back in the day?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
This is back in the 80s, maybe early 90s.
I bet they did.
But
They sold everything
I can tell you this: there was a manager there
in the Kmart.
at the Kmart, and I forget what his name was.
Did he train at the Quick Sack?
He probably it's where he came from. I'm sure he sounded like he'd smoked a few. He actually had the best voice I've ever heard. Like he would actually get on the intercom and say things. Let me get in my best radio voice here. Hang on.
Okay.
If you're looking for outdoor entertainment, look no further than aisle 5, where you'll find bikes, tricycles, big wheels, and scooters. All today, 30% off at your local Kmart. This guy was unbelievable, right? The most helpful human being, though. You walk through and you say, hey, big voice guy. I can't remember his name. Hey, where can I find
Jerry?
Where can I find the extra
Jerry Rice?
Sure.
Okay, Jerry.
So I get a Jerry, and I'm like, Jerry, hey, where can I find the extra large tampons? And he would walk you right back, to the aisle and like help you shop for them, right? He's like, now these are on sale. I'm just saying, these are like, and so I was walking out to the vehicle right before I was texting with you, and I was thinking about like, what the hell happened?
Well,
and I get that we talked about this like last week or the week before. You can't get people to work anymore, and
the world has changed.
That's
what's
really
real, and you just wonder in 20 more years what it's going to be like. We were at the Journey concert, and Laura was like, I saw them 20 years ago, and how they have all changed.
Sure.
Because it's like, because they were in their 50s, and now Jonathan Cain and Neil Sean are in their 70s.
Coke will do that to you.
And something's keeping them up. I'm like, I would be in bed right now. Goodness.
Snort any way you want.
Neil Sean was hitting that guitar, and I'm like, you have to. There's no way.
He's all over the stage.
No way. Well, even Arnell Piney, he was jumping up and down. He was out in the crowd. He's 55.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, man, my left knee is hurting. I have to keep it bent up in this seat. Somebody stand up. Stand up. And of course, I had a very large gentleman next to me, and I'm just like, there ain't no leg room over here. Anyway, but
it's just really disappointing now that like nobody cares anywhere you go. Yeah. You walk into a gas station and like you say, "Hey, where's this at?" And it's over there. Where years ago they'd walk over there and point to it.
That's right.
And
people
and again,
don't care. There's no.
And normally I don't need to be handheld.
I understand,
right?
but it was just it's the thought that counts.
Yeah,
doing nice things just for the thought of it.
Yeah,
that a lot of that's gone away.
And it's not.
It still exists, but
does.
Not.
I walked into Best Buy one time and I was just killing time. And I was looking at they had cable modems, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I was over there looking, and here come this guy over there with all the knowledge in the world about cable modems, and he was telling me the difference. And then I said, I got about 20 plus years in IT. And he goes, "Oh, you probably know what you're doing." I'm like, "I don't even want these. I'm just in this aisle."
It's just kind of my thing.
But it's like, that was cool though, that like he knew all this and like he worked there.
Right.
He was like, "Let me help you make a great decision here." And I'm like, I don't need your help. Thank you. Because I know
but
what
it was
I'm doing.
just, again, it was the thought that counts. Yeah, we've gone away from that.
And it's like to the point where like Taco Bell, a lot of Taco Bell restaurants now, you don't go to the counter and order. You order their giant touch screen.
Yep, McDonald's is the same thing.
Yeah, so you don't talk to a human. Like, you don't talk to us.
And so I had this happen at a McDonald's where I walked up to the counter.
Yeah.
And they were not happy.
And probably didn't know what to do.
That I walked up to the counter to place my order, and I did it on purpose. And the employee, she was you could tell. She was fine. Here's the thing, she did not like do anything overtly rude, but her body language and just her tone.
She was not happy to be there.
She didn't want to have to be doing that. No. She's like, "That's why we have those screens over here, so you don't come over here and place your order." And I was like, okay.
But on the screen, I can't tell you that I want the pickle
That's
a
right.
little to the left.
That's what, right. That's it.
To the left.
It's a little bit. Right.
But I can't. It really.
That's where we're at.
And again,
shorthanded in everything. Yet unemployment has recovered completely, which is not true. I just somebody's probably going to put me in jail for saying that. I just can't see how they say the unemployment rate has corrected itself and nobody has anybody that's working. I'm like, how did these numbers improve so much? Did we make up some new job? You know what I'm serious.
I know what you're saying. No, you're absolutely
so
right.
They can't get anybody. Nobody has any loyalty. Nobody, particularly in a service industry, people just don't want to do it. Yet they're there. Because they at least need a job, but they don't feel like they have to work for said job.
You know what it is?
Because they want to go switch, for $2 more an hour at the quick sack from the sniff and snatch, or the snatch and sniff, whatever. Whap, whatever it is, and so it's just anyway.
You know what it is in the fast food industry? I can tell you what it is. It's because they're making them sign those non-compete clauses, right? So you can't sell a burger across the street.
I got you.
Our president said that on TV. He said that. Did you listen to the State of the Union address?
No, because
he said that you can't go across the street and sell burgers because they're making you sign a non-compete clause. And everybody in the audience was like, Joe, no, McDonald's is not having people sign non-compete clauses.
I did not.
What are you talking about?
I did not listen to the State of the Union, and that's probably shame on me for not taking an interest in that. But I really don't have any interest in anything that guy has to say.
The same here. I try to be the.
It drives me insane.
I try to still follow the.
It drives me insane.
We had this conversation in school.
And do we even have vice president? Do we have one? I'm not kidding.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm like
the constant smirk she has on her face, and I get. Listen, I don't think she's smirking. I don't. I really don't. It's just. I mean, I kind of hope she is. But it's just this constant smirk just pisses me off, and I don't know why. And I don't care what party she's from. That smirk just gets on my nerves.
Oh, yeah, that has nothing to do. It's
just what are you doing?
The mannerisms, the mannerisms. It does not matter political party line.
Because I'm probably not the most patriotic person in the world, but I consider myself pretty patriotic, and I still hold that position. I think there's a lot of traditions there, that should be kept. I think one of the traditions is when you start the speech, you should do your thank yous or whatever, and then you should say something to the effect of ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans, our state of the union is strong, or something. That's how it's always been done, and now it's this whole look who I brought to help my political party. Look who I helped to help brought to help my political party. Look who I helped who donated to me. And again, it's like, dude, come on. It's just, you can't parade the people around like that. And listen, that's both parties. Both parties have done that. No, that is party agnostic.
Politics.
And then he says, then he uses the term, look and listen. Look. If you took the words look and listen out of his speech, the whole thing's 8 minutes long. And it's like, I don't know. I listened to it and I just got super disheartened. And then this happened at Target. And I'm like, my God,
we're in a rough state.
Venice, Italy's, looking a lot better right now.
We're in a rough state.
Oh my gosh. And I just worry about what other countries are thinking about America when this is our commander in chief. And listen, I think the guy is borderline, somewhere in the span of where, whatever it's called, of dementia. I think that's there. I think there's a problem. I know he's getting old, but what was this a year ago when he wanted to thank somebody for the work they had done or whatever, and then he says, "Is she here tonight?" A month before, she'd been killed in a car accident, and he even talked about it, and he's asking, "Is she there that night?" His press secretary says, "Well, it was just top of mind. That's why. He just he made a mistake. It was just top of mind." It's like, yeah, but she's dead. You can't. She's dead, and you're asking, is she here tonight? And everybody was like, dude. Anyway, I don't want to get on a political.
And he gets a pass.
Grandpa Joe. I don't know what to say. I listened to that, and then again, so all this is going through my mind.
Seth,
from the door of Target to the door of my vehicle. all this is going through my mind. I'm like, where?
Right. That's
are
the
we
other
at?
bad thing is when stuff like that happens, it just really brings out all this frustration that a lot of us have, and that's very unfortunate.
It is. It's just, I mean, you get no service anywhere you go unless it's a super nice place, and you got to pay out the nose for it. You know, you can't interact with people at the drive-through anymore. You can't. I mean, it's just this.
It's a completely different. Yeah, it's just a completely different thing.
I'm becoming an old man, and the world has changed. That's what I know. I'm an old man, and the world is changing in a direction that I don't really love. And I mean, it's not just. I mean, it's any restaurant, any store you go to. Like, there's no help, and nobody knows where anything's at. If you go to Lowe's, hey, I brought this with me. Can you help me find this bolt? Yeah, the bolts are over there. What I'm asking you to do is to take your expertise and go say, this is the right thread.
And make sure that we don't buy the wrong thing, because I don't want to have to come back here again.
Ever. Yeah, like ever. I never want to come back here again. Like today's a good example. You know, I took Mom to the clinic this morning. She's a little stuffed up. And on the way back, I'm like, oh, you know what? I need a paper towel holder for the little shed I got out back, because I got to keep paper towels out there.
Shed, yes.
He shed. And I'm like, yeah, I need a little paper towel holder. I'm like, oh, Walmart's right here on the Norris Freeway. I'll just stop there.
That's very convenient.
I got in that lane and then said, nope, and then went straight through. Straight through past your office, as a matter of fact, which is also something I would like to talk about, too. Folks, so let's talk about courtesy. Let's talk a little bit about courtesy. And we've all, I hope we've all done this. If you're in a line of traffic and there's a red light and you really can't get any further and someone's trying to cut across or something, you just stop and give them room, right?
Correct.
Now,
right.
Here's the key.
I thought you were going to talk about my office, but no, you're talking about traffic.
This is traffic. And
okay.
Your office is involved.
Okay.
Well, your office is indirectly involved.
Okay, I got you.
So, you know, we've all done that, but it is the onus of the person crossing to look to see if there are other vehicles.
That is correct.
It is not on me.
No.
Not on me. And it's not on anybody else. So I'm driving through there, right? And there's a line.
It's busy.
Oh, it's super busy.
Yeah, when it's busy, it's insane busy.
And so someone's trying to get out and take a left toward the high school. And so,
which is not easy right there on Emory.
No, it's not at all. And so
high volume. So, you know, when I leave the off, that's where I turn.
Yeah.
And then I have to go left. And I mean, yeah, of course, I mean, after
you're leaving a little later though. So
yeah, if I leave at 6, which is we're having a really good day. I like usually somebody has to kind of let me out.
Yeah.
But so I think I'm going to spoil what you're going to say anyway, but I have to look what's going on, because somebody will be flying one way or the other, and it's a problem.
So this is around 4:30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Traffic horrible.
Yeah.
Right. And that line on that side, the left side, is just bumper to bumper.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so light turns green for old Dave, and Dave comes straight through, and Dave's going a comfortable 30 miles an hour, because I just don't speed. I don't even go the speed limit.
Right.
And Eugene Jackass in his F-250 diesel dually,
big truck.
Someone had stopped there to let that person out, right? So he just pulls out. I almost had to ditch the truck there, slammed on the brakes, and the guy had no clue anything was even going on. Like, I slammed my horn, and like other people are blowing their horn at him, like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, what is going on? That's the second time that's happened to me there. And I said, it's Doc's fault. That's whose fault.
That's it. No, we need a traffic light.
You do. I think you do.
I mean, that would, you know.
I don't understand. Like, we've nobody can drive anymore. Am I just getting old? Am I just getting old and angry?
No, I
get out of my yard.
I think people just don't care. They see that immediate they see the immediate satisfaction. Oh, that person's letting me go. You know, forget who's over here. On the way over here, guy pulled right in front of me going in. He did a left-hand turn, and when he did that, like, I was watching him. He was not even looking my direction to see if I don't even know what he was doing. He was looking as he was turning into the place where he's at.
Yeah.
And that was his sole focus. It was like, I didn't even exist right there. You know, and I'm like, I don't understand why you're not gauging what's happening.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah.
Are you a defensive driver? Because I definitely am.
I kind of do. I would say I do both.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to prepare for what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we can try to keep it from happening. That's what I try to do. So I guess that's that's not really offense because now when I was younger, I was probably more offense. I mean, I'm weaving in and out and doing all that. Now I'm more like trying to anticipate and just be a preventer of
Lindsay's
what
still
could happen.
an offensive driver.
I mean, I could see that.
I'm not though. I am so defensive. Like it's like I'll just pull over. You just okay. I'll just wait 10 minutes. I'm waiting on a Nintendo Switch anyway. So what's the difference? I'll just pull it. Like I'm just that guy. Like I don't want to get in the middle of all that shit. I just don't. I don't want to like I mean I just get so I'm just driving along and I'm like, why did you pass me to get one car in front? You drove 90 miles an hour to weave into traffic
to make that happen.
And now we're on the off ramp
to save 7 seconds.
Yeah. And now we're on the off ramp and I'm right behind you. Like you are an idiot.
Yes.
And it's
yeah.
And then when you have a kid that's driving and has to drive through this stuff, then you have to worry about that stuff too.
True.
We need flying cars. I'm just saying. Self-driving flying cars.
Dun, 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 dun.
little Back to the Future.
Don't go to 2020.
Don't go to
Marty. Don't go to 2020. Whatever
you do.
Don't ever travel to 2020.
Speaking of Marty and Back to the Future and all things 80s, my teenager said to me one night, he said, Dad, I think all the good movies came out in the 80s. And I said, I think you're right. We started naming over some movies, like Back to the Future and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, City Slickers,
Top
Gun, Iron Eagle, Friday the 13th.
Various rock.
Nothing. Crickets. I don't have a chirping sound.
But that it was at its peak then. I mean, that Nightmare on Elm Street all in the 80s. But so I mean, obviously, cooking.
Naked girls running through the woods.
That's right.
Sells like hotcakes every time.
I mean, just
whap whap
whap. That's it. That's it. Oh my goodness. I had another thought.
But talking about the 80s, and you went to see Journey last night, and Toto. Hello, we are Toto. I've never seen Toto. I've seen Journey like 3 times, but I've never seen Toto.
They were looking old.
Yeah, well, they're older than Journey. Like Toto.
I mean, they're up. I'm like, hey, they're up, and that probably gets them up.
I wonder if it's the same lineup.
I didn't look.
I wonder.
I didn't look.
It's like expiration dates.
You should look up Neil Sean's wife, though.
Oh yeah,
they do. Yeah, it's not what I was expecting. Because I was just kind of going through. So
not what you were expecting.
Jonathan Cain married a minister a few years ago.
Oh wow,
and Neil Sean's wife,
like 20 years old,
looking like something out of Cherry Pie video.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, wasn't expecting that.
What was her name?
Who?
The Cherry Pie girl. Why can't I think of her name?
Now you're not getting confused with the White Snake video with
no, that's Tawny Katane.
Yeah,
I will never forget that.
I don't know who.
She's a redhead. I don't know. Bobby Brown was her name.
No,
it was Bobby Brown.
I'm looking at.
You don't believe me.
I'm looking that crap up right now.
You're full of crap, man.
I'm looking at Bobby Brown Cherry.
It was Bobby Brown Cherry Pie. That was her name.
But, man, hold up.
Oh, he's testing my musical knowledge here.
I'm excited about this.
This is good.
This is pretty good. Oh my goodness, Bobby Jean Brown, sometimes called Bobby Brown Lane.
That's right. Because I think she married Janie from Warrant.
She did.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
Mm-hmm. They were married, and they did that video.
She was Miss Louisiana Teen USA.
Yeah. And she
was runner-up Miss Teen USA in 87.
Hottie McHotterson.
Look at that.
Yeah. Hottie McHotterson.
What are the odds of that? That's crazy.
Yeah. Right?
Oh. In her memoirs, because she wrote a memoir.
Of course she did. They threw a piece of cherry pie in my lap in that video.
Admitted, this is not surprising, admitted that she was a cocaine and methamphetamine addict for a decade.
How about that? Well,
she used the ladder to drop weight quickly before modeling shoots. Completed several stints in rehab. She had trichotillomania.
She was
How about that?
Very attractive too.
There you go. There you go. How about that?
She's my
Broke
cherry
up
pie.
broke up with Tommy Lee right before Tommy Lee married Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, Tommy definitely had a type. Right? He did.
Heather Locklear. Yeah. Anyway, Tommy Gunn.
Love Tommy.
Tommy Gunn.
So yeah, we were talking about you going to the Journey concert.
We were.
and then we started talking about '80s music and that sort of stuff, and that always helps me reminisce a little bit about '80s music. Bobby Brown. How
That
about
was strong.
How about that?
That was strong.
Oh, he goes deep, man. He goes deep. Well, it was funny because I'm 46. Since you can't find me on IMDb and look that up, I'm 46. Whatever. I'm not famous enough. So I'm 46. So I
You are a
grew up.
professional broadcaster.
I am a professional broadcaster though, and so my brothers are 11 and 13 years older than me. They still are. They were alive as of this morning. As of this morning, we've located both of them.
Everybody's here.
We've located both of them as this morning. And so they're 11 and 13 years older than me. So when I was born, I mean, they were teenagers, you know, so I'm like 4 and 5 and they're teenagers. And so the first rock and roll song that I heard, because, you know, most
Big Mac 103.
No, that didn't come out till 89. So that was a minute away. But
You were a teenager.
I was a teenager at that point. But you know, because most of the music I had listened to was we talked about after the show last week. I had a little PTSD. Now I'm thinking, yeah, I think you're right. It's because most of the music I listened to was whatever was played in church, and we've talked about that. I'm like, what is happening? But the first rock and roll song I ever heard was "Highway to Hell."
Oh,
With Bon Scott from the album. AC/DC. And when you listen to that, I started listening to more of Jerry's music that he has. He's the older brother, the eldest brother.
elder.
He's the elder. And, you know, his music was, I really liked that type of music.
Sure.
I'm like, I kind of fell in love with it. And Pyromania came out in 84. Was it 83? I think it was 84. And then in 1984 came out in 84 with Van Halen. The Van Roth years, and I love that too. And I'm like, oh God, I love this music. So I'm like, you know, Def Leppard fan, Van Halen fan. So I loved all that music, even though I was kind of a kid through some of that. But man, I love the '80s. The music is great.
Well, I think that was. Sorry, caught me in mid yawn. Good gravy.
It's because you're old.
I know, right? I know. I know. I mean, Neil Sean's never missed a gig in 50 years. Wonder what's Okay.
It's just a hologram at this point.
Maybe,
He's
right?
been dead for 20
right?
years,
That's
like
it.
Keith
They
Richards.
just put him up there, right? Oh, Keith Richards. Yeah. There's too much.
Keith, how do you feel?
Too much poison in him.
He's smoking a cigarette. I'm good. Thanks, Keith.
Thank
Keith,
you.
are you still alive? I think it's a good.
If I quit, I'd die. I think it was just such a big. I don't know. Everything was just bigger.
It was. Do you think it was just because some of the stuff was new? Like, and
I
you
mean,
get to a point where you've kind of heard and seen everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that was, but also I think when you get into mainstream media exposure to,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, video killed the radio star. I mean the different things where MTV,
Buggles.
MTV comes on the scene, and you know, these bands are already super popular, but then you have access, you can watch their videos, and I don't know, it just seemed. And I don't know. I always feel like in the 80s there was just like this really great sense of pride
Yeah.
within our nation that has been gone for a minute.
Yeah.
And people give Reagan a hard time about things, and I was like, you know, not that he did the perfect job, but in terms of like
Reagan
feeling
was
like
awesome.
like you're an American,
Yeah.
and I mean, I think he did an excellent job of promoting that, and I think people just had that great sense of feeling for our nation, and then it just kind of went to crap.
It did.
And we've just never gotten that back.
Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Right.
All that happened in the 80s.
And that's what I'm saying. I just
Whitney
think,
Houston's
I think it was
national
like,
anthem.
I want to know if he really loves me. I mean, married Bobby Brown, the other one.
He doesn't, Whitney. You can't hear me now.
No.
He doesn't.
No.
He likes your money
Bobby-
and the fact you can buy crack for him.
Bobby liked the crack. That's
I
it.
want to know if he loves crack. Yes.
Yes, he does.
That's the answer.
End of the song. That's it. That's it. And that was it. And that was it.
But I mean, like, I think about like just, not just the movies and the music, but just like the time. I mean, like people are wearing neon and people are, and Michael Jordan was a thing. And then the greatest quarterback who ever walked the face of the planet, Joseph Montana from Nagahella, Pennsylvania, was playing and winning Super Bowls for the 49ers. And, again, I guess we all at some point.
Magic and Bird and Michael.
Yeah.
Lots of that.
I had that Atari game, Bird versus, like Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. God, that game was awful, but I probably played it for 1,000 hours. Loved it. Super Mario Brothers and, the original Batman movie with Michael Keaton.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Like and I mean, just you think about like, I mean, Bon Jovi was huge.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Who you gonna call?
Billy D.
Billy D. That's who
Billy
I'm
D.
gonna call.
Williams. Lando Calrissian.
That's right. Yep.
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent.
How
Yep.
about that?
I
What was it? Was it Colt 45? Yeah, Colt 45. He did the commercials. That was back when they had Colt 45 commercials. He did Colt 45 commercials.
There was Spuds McKenzie.
Yep, Spuds McKenzie. That was a female.
And then that's right. That's who I'm going to be, because I'm going to identify Spuds McKenzie from now on. And then there was the dog from Stroh's. Remember Stroh's beer? Alex. I think it was Alex.
I think the name was.
Oh, that was in the song. The Funky Cold Medina. Wasn't that in the song? Hang on. I got all the. I think that was in Funky Cold Medina.
I can't remember.
Or maybe it was Wild Thing. I don't know.
But Tone Loc.
It was definitely Tone Loc.
Tone Loc.
Yeah.
Sheena was a man.
Sheena was.
I ain't down with no Oscar. Got to make sure that your girl is pure with the funky cold.
What do you think Sheena's pronouns were? I'm just kidding.
Stop.
Don't give a damn. Sheena's pronouns were. But I mean, I still remember the soundtracks to movies too, right? So like
a lot of epic stuff. Caddyshack, Top Gun, Footloose.
I remember that Top Gun soundtrack because that was awesome. I mean, that was some awesome crap in that one.
I mean, Kenny Loggins made a lot of money.
He's all
Kenny
right.
Loggins, right?
Ain't nobody got to worry about him.
Ain't nobody worry about me.
Yeah, I mean, like he wrote all that. Even that song over the. Remember the movie Over the Top?
Oh yeah.
And he wrote that "Meet Me Halfway."
Yes.
Meet me halfway.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
God, it was
Wow.
awful.
Wow.
Oh, that was awful. Yeah,
that crazy move.
So stupid.
Oh my
so stupid.
gosh. Sly Stallone.
It's
Sly Stallone and the Terminator and all the things.
But it's so funny, like how like Life and Death was an arm wrestling match. And,
Right.
you watch that movie, you were like, yes, that's exactly what it is. It's an arm wrestling match. This is gonna define the world as we know it.
That's it.
That's
it. Good versus evil.
These two morons arm wrestling is gonna.
That's it, man.
Even some of the TV shows were so much better.
Yeah,
we all know about Bill Cosby and whatever, but the show at the time was the number one show, and we all loved the Cosby Show. We loved Alf. I loved Alf.
Oh, alien life form.
Yeah. Did you know that the dad in Alf hated the show and regretted signing his contract and was very thankful when it was over?
No.
Yeah, he said he hated it.
He
said he felt like it was going to ruin his career, and I'm like, buddy, you were on a show called Misfits of Science, okay? Nope. You did that a long time ago.
Alpha helped you tremendously.
Yeah. Misfits of Science, folks. Look it up. One of the great shows from the 80s.
Wow.
Courtney Cox.
Wow.
Yeah. One of her first shows. I think maybe her first show. Silver Spoons. Family Ties.
Silver spoons to
Growing Pains.
Show me that smile again.
Show me that smile. Don't waste another minute on your crying.
I don't know the rest of the words.
I think Alan Thicke actually sang that. I think I read that he actually sang that song.
That was before Blurred Lines.
Well, it's for his kid, and yeah.
That's a bad song. I mean, the beat, you just don't. It's one of those. you hear that beat and you just don't realize, you know, and you're just like, oh my. Yeah, that's a bad song. Wow.
Have you seen the video?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, anyway, yeah.
If you watch the video, folks, just hit mute. The video's entertaining.
Oh my goodness.
I can't tell you how entertaining
No,
it is.
it just, yeah, right.
Look that up for yourself.
On YouTube
It's all on YouTube.
after you finish the podcast.
So there's so all that to talk about music and like how times have changed, and everything. And there's a guy named Tony Parker, he's a comedian, and
Not the basketball legend.
no,
Tony Parker.
not that Tony Parker. So this comedian, a friend of mine, sent this to me this morning, and it was hilarious because I'd forgot that this was a thing. But now, when he said it, I remembered it. This was a couple of years ago. The song "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Very controversial.
Yeah,
Very controversial.
very controversial. And they basically said it was. I don't know what it was doing. It was saying like rape or sexual assault was
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
I don't know. But they
Very,
said
very negatively influential.
yeah, and
Basically, yes. Basically, the undertone of a person being dominated by another person.
right. And I mean, the lyrics, it's the girl's trying to leave, and he's like, "No, don't leave. It's cold. Come on back in." She's like, "Well, I mean, my parents will be worried." Like, "Hey, come on," or whatever. "It's too cold. Let's stay. There's a fireplace and whatever." And for some reason, that meant he was going to rape her. I guess that's what that meant. She didn't seem like she was really wanting to go anyway. I'm just saying. They were having a discussion.
But that would never happen.
Right. But right. So they were having a discussion.
Halos.
Yes, of course.
Halos.
No, never.
Halos never.
And so the comedian made the point that while in 2020 they said nobody should play this at Christmas time, it's a terrible song, radio stations should ban it. For 2 months of that same year, the number one song in the country was WAP.
By Cardi B.
And if you don't know what that means, I'll just say the first word is wet.
Yes.
WAP.
WAP. And if you have not actually... Wow. I mean...
Phrases are used like
Wow.
bucket and mop,
Wow. I know, right?
credit cards.
Yes. Kegels. I mean, it's bad.
bad.
That song is bad.
And I'm
That
like,
song-
so we're
that
gonna
song is
ban
bad.
We're gonna ban.
But WAP.
And just look it up.
Baby,
folks.
it's
Just look
cold.
up.
Baby, it's cold outside. It's gone. But WAP.
Just look up Tony Parker and him talking.
And so
about
here's
it.
so here's my question on that. We're gonna get in trouble on this, but it's okay.
It's all right.
So we love '80s music, and but I mean, there was a lot of that. I mean, I don't know. I guess the '80s. I don't know. Do you feel like there was? Was it more chauvinistic? I mean, because I don't really view it that way. But I feel like a lot of people say that now, and it's because Cardi B is female and sings that song. Does that make it okay?
I don't
Because basically,
know.
she's talking about how she's dominating the dude.
She is. It's funny.
So
to
does
me,
that make it different? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I
versus
don't-
Baby, It's Cold Outside, which I mean,
I don't either. It's to me like a lot of that music and a lot of those times, and I still think it's this way for the most part. I don't think it's always this way, but I go back to your civics class in 7th grade when you learned about hunters and gatherers.
Oh, look
right?
at you.
Look at me.
you.
And men were traditionally the hunters. This is also true when men are trying to find a mate. This is no different. We're hunters. That's what we do.
Hungry like the wolf.
Hungry like the wolf. And then you have like the outfield, your love, which is like easy, buddy, easy.
Right.
She easy. Check her identification. Right?
Right.
She's what teen? Yeah. So anyway, if you don't know that one, folks, the outfield, your love. Pretty sure that was, yeah.
That's what saying winning it all.
Winning it all.
Oh.
But yeah,
Put me in coach.
Put me in coach.
Anyway, sorry. Right. So no, I mean, I
think that like that mentality doesn't necessarily. I don't think we write songs based on that, but I think it's just how we're genetically geared when we're writing music. Sometimes, if a man is writing a song about a woman, then perhaps he's writing it with that in the back of his mind, like hunter-gatherer kind of thing. Like the men are the hunters.
Michael Bolton.
Yeah. Well, Michael just ripped off Percy Sled, right? So let's just say.
Right.
Michael Bolton also used to be in a hard rock band.
Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm, it sure is. Kenny Rogers used to sing rock music too.
I knew that.
I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. The song featured on The Big Lebowski, by the way.
How about that?
I'm just full of it today.
You're on it.
And I know some stuff
You're
too.
on it. And that's right. That's right.
So I don't know. I think that, I think the mentality kind of changed too. I mean, I think it's funny to look back at the 80s when everything just seemed really normal and everybody just kind of seemed like kind of happy and things were just
Even
normal.
in the 90s.
Even in the 90s. And then all of a sudden we got really, I'm
blaming on Y2K.
Of course.
I'm going to blame it on Y2K.
I always say we got too politically correct, but I was listening to Jordan Peterson and some other folks talk, and they said that people are really misusing the term politically correct. Like, that's not what you're trying to say. And I listened to someone, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's actually right. That's
when I'm saying politically correct, what I'm saying is not what I'm saying, if that makes any sense. So it's not really politically correctness that I don't love. We've tried to stop saying certain things and we've tried to stop doing certain things. And if it's for a better society, I'm all for it. That's fine with me. Just don't F with my football. All right. Don't jack with my football. You can do whatever you want. You start messing with football, then I'm pissed off.
Which they're messing with it a little bit. NIL contracts.
No, that's going to be the death of college football.
Transfer portal.
It's
TNT. Dirt cheap.
It's the free agency period.
Gator Collective.
So we're talking about music in the 80s and talking about some movies and stuff we like too, and ran across a podcast called the Retro Video Store Podcast.
Retro Video Store.
Yeah.
Blockbusters.
Eric, Neil, and Dave. They have a Dave. It actually says Eric, Neil, and sometimes Dave. Dave, I think, is a busy guy, so he can't always be.
Dave drops in and out.
Dave's dropping.
Okay. You've never missed a show. In 42 shows.
That's right.
I've never missed a gig.
That's right. I've been here for 42 shows.
That's it. That's it.
So, and what they do is they take older movies, and I'm looking through some of their stuff, and most of them are from the 80s. I do think there's some 90s stuff. They do talk about some of the Friday the 13th movies, so I'm pretty excited about that.
There you go.
And I reached out
Under
to them.
Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Oh, my God. Oh. I do. So one of the guys got back to me. I think it was Eric, or maybe it was Neil. I can't remember. And because we were talking about what we could.
You're invited, but your friend can't come. Encino, man.
Yes. Thank you, Vince. But we were talking about, like, I said, hey, we'd love to have you guys on because we love reminiscing and stuff, and I think that'd be fun. And they're like, and great guys. They all got back and they're like, hey, we listen to your podcast. We love it. We think that would be a great time.
Sweet.
And I'm like, awesome, let's do it. So we're planning on. So folks, probably a couple weeks from now, we'll have an episode with those guys.
Get it to win it. Like Iserman, drink about 15 Heineken.
It's going to be fun. And they talk about movies that, I mean, we all either love or love to hate. Like Bloodsport is on the page that I'm looking at right now, and I'm pretty excited. And
Kumite.
They go in depth too. Like they were talking about.
Ready, my heart's on fire.
Kumite. I always felt sorry for the
brick, not your back or whatever. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I go right to Death Touch.
The blonde in that movie.
Yeah,
she looked like she was so miserable the whole movie.
She probably was.
She did not want to be in that movie.
She probably was.
It's like I signed a contract with somebody, and they're like, "You got to be in 3 movies for us." And when she read this script, she's like, "Oh God, this is like,
why did you do this to me?
She looks so terrible."
Why?
But these guys were talking. I was listening to their review of Superman 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I remember all these movies very distinctly. I have a weird memory of Superman movies because I'm a big Superman fan. I like superhero movies. We saw Ant-Man and the Wasp last night. Great movie, by the way. Better than another movie we saw a couple weeks ago, Black Panther. That might have been the worst movie I've ever seen. It was terrible. It was flat.
Sad.
It's very sad. It was flat terrible.
See, that's so.
It was about 45 minutes too long. There was a scene in the middle that was just absolutely useless. I wonder if these guys would want to talk about Black Panther. I don't know. The reviews on it were good,
and that's Marvel.
Yeah,
and the Marvel universe is awesome.
Flat awful. flat awful.
That's so bad.
I mean, hey,
and I didn't know this.
I say-
I've not watched it. I mean, now the original. I love the original Black Panther.
it was great. It was wonderful.
Oh, I hate that, man.
I loved his character, like in the Avengers movies and
Yes.
Captain America:
Well, it's
Civil
fantastic.
War.
That's what I'm saying.
Unbelievable.
That's what for a Marvel movie to be like just that bad. That's rough.
I remember because there's a couple of movies I went to with the Marvel stuff that I was worried I didn't know how these were going to be.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy was one, and when I left, I'm like, oh my god, this might be my favorite Marvel movie. This was great.
they did a really
And
good
Black
job.
Panther was another. I'm like, I don't know a whole lot about the backstory here and everything. I know the gist, and then after I watched it, I'm like, this was great. This was great. And so, and then I go see Wakanda Forever, and I hope it's not forever. I hope Wakanda's gone.
Man, I hate that.
It was. I was disappointed. It's not like it was like it was a bad movie and whatever. Like I was really disappointed because I was expecting something great.
That's bad.
But
that's bad.
but these guys they look at some older movies and everything, and they have a good time and they discuss it. But back to Superman 2, they were talking about how Lois Lane was somehow in Paris for some reason, and she's somehow in the Eiffel Tower, and she somehow gets underneath the elevator, and like they said the special effects were awful. It's like they didn't even try in Superman 2. And then, Superman 3, they bring in Richard Pryor. And like that's the cover of the box too, right? Like it's Superman with Richard Pryor, like he's holding him and he's like flying away. And then Superman 4, The Quest for Peace,
Yes.
was where he fought he fought like Nuclear Man.
Yeah, Nuclear Man or something. Yeah, I remember that.
Terrible.
Yes.
And Gene Hackman, you got to say, Gene Hackman was probably like, "Hey, I signed a 4 movie deal. I'm done with this. Don't ever call me again because I'm Gene Hackman." But yeah, but these guys will be fun. That's coming up in a couple weeks.
That'd be cool. That'd be good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's good. They're some good guys. So thought I'd give their podcast a little plug here. The Retro Video Store podcast.
Sweet.
And I'll link it in the. I like saying this. Links in the description. Because it's
Boom.
Everybody says that on YouTube videos. Links in the description.
Links in the description.
Read the description. That's where the link is.
That's it.
So the link will be in the description.
Put the link in there.
Put the link in there. For 2 months. WAP. Number 1.
Cardi B. I can't process. It's okay.
I can't either. I wish we could play the song.
No.
Probably some copyright.
No, we can play the song because it'd just be like we're just listening to the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not getting any. I mean, there's no financial gain here, right?
That's true. I can't believe there was financial gain with that
But
song.
when we can't play that.
Get the bucket and mop, folks.
Man,
You folks don't know how hard we were laughing
it was bad.
before the
It
show.
was bad.
Oh my
bad.
gosh.
It was bad.
Oh, whap whap.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see. I don't know what else to talk about.
I think that the real theme is we just long for the days of yesteryear.
I think you're right.
We loved having American pride and working and the music and the videos and everybody doing good stuff. And now you can't even buy a Nintendo Switch. Everybody's just general customer service skills are just in the toilet. But you're working the job that requires that, and it doesn't exist. How more depressing can we get?
You know what else I'm tired of?
WAP was the number 1 song for 2 months.
I'm tired of these chiropractors on YouTube.
Oh,
what I'm tired of.
boy.
They don't even charge people to. This one guy gets models to come.
Oh.
And like he films it, right?
Oh.
And he whistles before he makes an adjustment because that's a method. It's a method where you whistle, and then like he pushes on your spine.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a light little whistle.
What's that supposed to do?
Shit if I know. You mean overall or just the whistle? My answer is the same. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, he's cracking spines, and everybody he's cracking is like ridiculously gorgeous and like some Instagram model.
Oh.
Yeah. So like and maybe he has an actual like business and like he does regular folk, and then like every once in a while he brings in Hottie McHotterson. I don't know.
How do we get onto that?
I don't know. It just came to me.
You had to get it out of there.
I did.
You couldn't let that that sucker.
I haven't really complained a lot in the last couple episodes. I've been
Target's pretty bad,
Target was bad. Target was bad.
and they missed out on the sale.
If you make me miss Kmart, you've jacked up. Don't make me miss the Mart.
Though Hall's Kmart was pretty good.
I don't think I ever went to the Halls.
They even had a
Kmart.
pharmacy there.
I think I went to, what's the one past like Fountain City to the left? It's like an Office Depot there. You go under the overpass.
Yeah, I think that was Broadway. The Broadway Kmart. Yeah. That
one I've been to.
Yeah. Oh,
And it was like, it looked like a yard sale when I got there. I mean, I've only been
the Kmart over here was pretty nice.
I've only been in Knoxville for 11 years.
And
so.
it just kind of
it's like Roses.
bad financial.
Like
decisions.
Roses. You remember Roses?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like a yard sale now too. I bought my first toy that I ever bought with my own money there. I think I told that story.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, Superman, where you squeeze his legs and his arms to do that.
I had that Superman.
Yeah.
I had the Batman, Aquaman, Green Lantern. Green Lantern's ring.
Yeah, I lost Superman's cape and I had to use Batman's cape.
You shouldn't have tugged on Superman's cape.
I shouldn't. I've been told that.
That's a 70s song, though, I think. It's actually a 70s song.
I'll get the bucket and mop. I'm sorry.
Don't spit. Thank you, folks. Hey, we appreciate all the listens. We got to get off of here before we get evicted. Thank you, Canada. Thank you, Germany. Thank you, all the folks out there that are just watching our silliness. And one more thing.
Here we go.
The best gift for Valentine's Day from my wife. Look at that.
Well, I may or may not have known something about this.
How about that? Boom.
I may or may not have known something about that. So
Make it up.
there you go.
More to come. If you need one, send us a note on the website.
Yeah.
That's DaveDoc042.com.
Look at you, professional broadcaster.
Not yet.
Me either.
See you, bye.
See you, folks.